Very good morning, my dear pilgrims. Today is the 4th day since I started the Camino de Santiago from the last stage, that is from here. Today I feel happy. Today the air feels pure, different. And that's probably because I've already completed more than half of the journey. And I've been told these last 2 stretches are super easy going. Ah, how wonderful. Today's gonna be a day to enjoy, to share, to live in the moment now that we've gotten through, in quotes, the worst part, and I didn't wake up sick like I feared I would yesterday. Go watch the previous video if you don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I may be telling you that I didn't wake up sick, but anyone who heard my voice when I got up would probably think otherwise.
Well, that's it. It's already morning. I'm about to head out now. It's currently 20 to 8. I think today is the day I'm going to go for breakfast a little later than usual, but I needed to have my quiet time this morning. I'm going to have breakfast now. Yesterday I had half a Milanese left over from dinner, so I have food for today too if I want. It also amuses me that I'm starting to distort reality a bit, in the sense that before coming to the Camino, if someone told me to walk 20 kilometers, I would be like, no way, man. And today I'm happy because I have to do 20 kilometers and I see it as a super short stroll. So anyway, let's see how today's stage goes. I'm going to have breakfast now. I just need to finish packing up and closing my suitcases, which is kind of the hardest part of the day. And let's see what today has in store for us.
Anyway, let's close the suitcase, which is a bit of a struggle, a little biceps workout, but I'm cheerful today. And well, today we'll get to enjoy what I think will be the last stage with a lot of nature. Since tomorrow, when we arrive in Santiago, there will be less of that. I'll also get to chat and ask my friends, my Mallorcan friends, how they found these days on the Camino.
I've been told that there have been stretches that you've actually run through.
But anyway, before all that, it's time for breakfast, and I want to highlight something. Everywhere I've stopped, I've been treated wonderfully and made to feel at home. Now, one thing I do think we need to improve in Spain is to get rid of the idea that breakfast should just be toast. That's what I was served most often for breakfast. And look, I'm a grateful person and I appreciate whatever is in front of me, but if you're going to walk at least 20 kilometers a day, some toast with jam and butter is definitely not going to give you enough energy, not even close. So I strongly recommend that you bring fruit bars, salted nuts, and other energy boosting snacks. Because believe me, you won't have energy to spare.
Well, I'm heading out now. Honestly, today is going to be super sunny, and I don't want to take much longer to leave here from Arzúa because I don't know if you can see, but today is going to be really sunny. I have to say, it made me smile because in this bar, the guest house where I stayed, the lady named Teresa, who is super kind and caring, served me 4 pieces of toast. Well, I only ate 3 because that was enough for me, and when she saw I was about to leave without eating the last one, she was like, oh no, please eat it, won't you?
Take it with you.
And so here I am. So I'm going to finish my breakfast, and then we'll head off towards Pedrouzo. I think that's where we're going. Today,
I have to say that I really enjoyed this first stretch on my own because I knew that later on I'd probably end up meeting up with some friends and I wanted to enjoy a sunrise in silence just with myself. Honestly, doing the Camino is wonderful when you enjoy spending time with yourself, and today looks as good as yesterday. But it's also true that while the sun is great at sunrise, by midday it can get really stifling, especially if you're like me and forget that you've run out of water. Since I was filming a lot of shots of myself walking, that made things go slowly. Because of course I have to pretend I'm walking, then go back to pick up the camera, then turn around and walk again. So during one of these stops, I ran into several of my friends from Mallorca, and this time I decided to continue my journey with company. What?
I was going to ask you, is this your first time in Galicia?
Yes, it's my first time here in these beautiful lands. And
So far the journey, we're on the 4th day, right? Yes.
it's already the 4th day. And
How has it been for you so far? Any difficulties? Easy.
it's been good. I've really enjoyed it.
I've heard there have been stretches that you actually ran.
Yes, because I don't know, this journey has given me such energy that in some stretches I just thought, come on, I'm gonna let loose. Do you run or work out? I regularly go to the gym, but I honestly skip out on cardio pretty often, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm telling you that the letter U is definitely not.
One of the most spectacular, to be honest.
Well, good thing you didn't see my pilgrim's credential. Honestly, this stretch is wonderful because there's still a lot of nature with really beautiful landscapes, and on top of that, like I said, the weather was just perfect today too. And I think that, well, this is just my theory, but I think I didn't get sick today because my mind knew yesterday that I still had that with 2 days of walking left, I think it didn't let me get sick, I swear to you. I mean, since my brain knows I still have to make a certain effort, I didn't get sick. Like I said, that's what I think. And honestly, today's stretch felt pretty enjoyable because I was talking with one of my friends from Mallorca and we had a super deep conversation with a background that left me thoughtful with such a wealth of knowledge that we spent an hour talking about Pokemon.
When it was your turn to evolve, it felt like it only happened right at the very end of everything.
After having walked calmly in the morning, we arrived at a stand where they wanted to stop for a tortilla. For my part, I wasn't sure whether to stop or keep going because memories from day 2 came back to me, and I didn't want to go through the same thing again. But well, you know what? Today's the second to last day. Tomorrow I'll have to say goodbye to them. Let's just take it easy after all. This is a stroll. And we spent a little while enjoying a really good tortilla, sharing some laughs. As time went by, more friends from Mallorca started arriving at the same bar. So I decided to do a few short interviews to see how they were handling the journey so far and what they thought of the experience over these 4 days. But
Now that we're starting to reach the final stage, how do you feel? How are your feet holding up?
Well, to be honest, both of my feet are completely messed up right now.
honestly, I'm doing really well. I expected it to be much worse, but I'm surprised at how well I'm holding up.
I think overall I'm handling it well, better than I expected before coming. I'm honestly surprised.
Mentally and physically, I'm doing great, but the footwear, as I'm sure many people have already told you, is what really limits you. Since the first stage, I have 8 blisters plus 1 inside the nail, and now another one has appeared. I have 10.
Fuck.
I had to stop the third lid because I couldn't put my foot down. I had to go to the doctor, and it was a very different day from the others. Seeing how I am now, I have a lot of strength to get there, with a lot of energy and a lot of desire.
It has to be said that when you finish each stage, you're pretty tired, but then with the rest in the afternoon and at night, you recover and start the stages feeling great. The
Wine helps?
2.
To be honest, I have blisters all over my feet and they hurt a lot. But mentally, I am doing fine. I am tired, but I know deep down that I am going to make it and I don't doubt it for a second. So, everything is all good, right?
No need for psychiatric support or anything like that?
Not yet. Maybe when I get to Mallorca, they might have to lock me up for a week.
And what part has been the most difficult for you?
I don't know if it was the second day, when there was the archaeological site, which you guys did get to see. That day was the worst for me because it was really windy, there were a lot of hills, and thank goodness someone lent me a walking stick. I didn't bring one, and it saved my life. And then yesterday morning I felt great, super motivated, full of energy, but the last 2 hours were tough because of the blisters.
What was personally the most challenging aspect, or for you?
Maybe yesterday, since it was the longest stage, and on top of that, we were already accumulating kilometers from previous days, and the end was pretty tough. But well, nothing that can't be overcome.
The hardest moment I remember was the second day. When I woke up in the morning, I thought, God, I can't handle this pain. That morning was really tough.
And up to now? The part that was hardest for you, I understand, was yesterday when you had to stop.
No, it was before, around kilometer 20 of stage 2. Because I already had all the wounds, I couldn't put my feet down, I was walking on tiptoe. The last 6 kilometers felt
Endless?
endless, truly endless. I was alone, I was the last one, everyone was passing me, but I finished it.
And the most beautiful part, the best part so far, besides having gone with me?
Maybe it was yesterday morning. There was a stretch where I walked alone, and honestly, the experience of walking by myself along the path was something I really enjoyed because you get to appreciate the scenery more. It's a lot of fun to be with others and chat, but having a little time just for yourself, I highly recommend it.
Your favorite part of the journey?
Yesterday when we finished the longest stage, God, I can't believe it.
Which part did you find the most beautiful or the coolest?
The first stage was really beautiful. Overall, I'd say the whole first one. But now this fourth one is also seeming very beautiful to me. It's true that the second one is the one I like the least, and I can't really comment on the third one. I didn't see it.
Absolutely everything you see, the vast landscape, the quiet houses, seeing the domesticated animals, they are all just so incredibly comfortable out on the street. And the deep sense of peace too. Especially how very little noise there is in this place.
Well then, do you want to take the opportunity to say anything else?
Yes, I came here to talk about my book. Never before. Never has this phrase been so true, but it's real. I've published this book, God's Favorite. I look at the camera and, well, you'll come across it along the way.
Can you say a little about what the book is about so people know?
It's contemporary poetry, it's super easy to read, and it talks about life using religious symbolism, which I use to play with that symbolism and to share reflections as if it were a conversation with your best friend.
How cool. Do you want to send a message to the world?
Well, footwear, very important. Follow recommendations, especially trail shoes. And when you can take one step, take another.
That's right. Ole.
After the interviews and spending some time with them, we set off to continue with today's stage. In my case, I went with Marty and Adri, and honestly, everything went off without a hitch. Which way the hell What? Look, that was just a momentary slip-up, but honestly, the stretch we walked after the tortilla was super easy. There were hardly any hills, there was plenty of shade, trees protecting us from the sun and heat, and everything was great. We each arrived at our accommodations, and wow, what a wonder to open the window and see nothing but nature. That said, I felt like I'd gone too many days without training. So nothing special, just did some handstand push-ups and then, yes, showered and rested. After a while, I went down to have a drink with everyone at a bar that honestly I totally recommend. The atmosphere, the decor, and being able to sit outside were just amazing. The place is called Kilometer 19, see if you can guess why. And from there on, it was all about relaxing, playing cards, having a drink, and enjoying the company. Then we all went to have dinner together, and after that, it was finally time to rest for the last day. Today has definitely been the easiest and most manageable day in terms of effort. I feel like on one hand, my body is getting used to this pace of walking so much, and even though I'm obviously a bit tired, knowing there's not much left makes it easier. The landscapes, the nature, and the surroundings along this stretch were also very enjoyable. On one hand, you feel happy because you're making progress and about to finish the journey, but on the other hand, there's that feeling of wow, the adventure is about to end. Anyway, now it's time to sleep, get as much rest as possible, and finish tomorrow on a high note. Next week is the last episode of this journey I've been on, and just like I've done in the previous videos, I'd like to thank you, yes you, who are watching this video and accompanying me on my journey. I hope you're enjoying the little trip, and well, I'll see you next week, this time at the arrival in Santiago.